One of the hymns that I remember singing as I was growing up in my younger years was a song called Count Your Blessings. Count your many blessings, see what God has done, and it will surprise you what the Lord has done. So it's a call to remembrance, to remember what the Lord has done in our lives up to this point. And in our reading today from Deuteronomy 7, 8, and 9, and Mark 15, chapter 8 is just such a call to the children of Israel. They are to be fighting the fight, but they are to remember all of the things that God has done. When they get to the land, when they are being blessed, they are to remember that the Lord brought them out of Egypt and from the house of bondage and all of those things. And so verse 16 is the verse that I want us to think about, the seed that I want to plant for us today in my own heart and in yours as well. Who fed you in the wilderness with manna, which your fathers did not know, that he might humble you and that he might test you to do you good in the end. So all that has taken place that Moses has mentioned, that he is reminding them, all that has happened to these people, and they've endured all of it, all done toward this specific end, that he might do them good. So when you review all the things that Moses has mentioned here in this chapter as a result of what God has done, then we see not only what God has done, but we also see the rebellion of the children of Israel. God has promised that if they would be obedient to his commands, that they would hold a distinctive place among all of the peoples of the world. They would be free from all of from the diseases and things that plagued Egypt, that they would be blessed above all the nations of the world. And what happened? Well, of course, they went against all that God commanded them. And rather than being blessed, they experienced the discipline of God rather than being blessed. And God continued to bless, to deal with them, to discipline them so that he would do them good at the end. And there's just a tremendous truth, I think, here for us as believers today to consider. God has certainly blessed us above anything that any person on the planet has deserved. Not one of us deserves the incredible blessing that God has given to us. It begins with our salvation. That if nothing else other than that ever happened to us, then we would be thrilled beyond compare when we stand before the Lord, that we would be saved. So our salvation is such an incredible gift. And typologically, it equates to being brought out of Egypt, the world, all the things that go on there, the old life with all of its stuff. Now we're set free from that. We walk into the promised land, and we continue now in the promised land to fight. That's not symbolic of heaven, the promised land. We're heading there, but we are going to have to fight in the land, as we use that comparison for what it actually means. And so we fight the battle against the enemy of our souls. And little by little, the Lord has promised to drive out the enemy of our souls. We die to the flesh. Romans chapter 6, Paul says, what shall we say? Shall we go on sinning? By no means. We died to sin. So, but it is a cooperative effort. We must fight, but the Lord has promised to go before us and to keep us. No temptation is taking you, but such is common to man, but the Lord will with the temptation make a way of escape. So put on the whole armor of God. As we talked a few days back, last week, we are to submit ourselves to the Lord, resist the devil, and draw near to God. The battle belongs to the Lord, and he fights for us. However, we must also fight the good fight of faith. That's our responsibility. How do we do that? Well, by doing those three things that I just mentioned. Submit ourselves to the Lord. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. So let us fight, amen? The good fight of faith. Let's continue to be faithful to the Lord, being in his word, being in prayer, sharing the good news of salvation with those who are around us, and being the people that God has called us to be. Amen. We have great and precious promises, dear friends. Let us lay hold of the things of God and draw near to him. Amen. May the Lord richly bless you today.